What is going on, guys? JPOD-SPORTS, and we'll go back to another video. Today, we finally got our first win against the Cleveland Browns. We won 21-15. It was a really good game the first half. It got slipping away a little bit in the second half, but we came through, finished strong, and fortunately beat the Cleveland Browns. There's some people that are on tank watch. Well, I guess you guys didn't win, but anybody that's a Giants fan would be excited about this. I want to talk about the defense first. The defense is the reason why we won. I mean, the defense had an insane stat line of 19 pressures, 4 quarterback hits, and 8 sacks. I remember last year, the first 3 weeks of the season, the Giants only had 1 sack as a team. They weren't even getting turnovers. They didn't have their first turnover until they played the Miami Dolphins. So already it's showing that our pass rush is a lot better than it was last year. Shane Bowen, after a pathetic performance last week on defense, really dialed it up today with a lot of different disguised blitzes, using Mike McFadden in a lot of different blitzes. He dropped Brian Burns in some disguised coverages, almost got a pick off it. So he was actually really coming to his own, and maybe it's just going to take some time to defensive scheme to sit in for the players as they were with Wink Martindale for the most part for like 2 years. The thing that really bothered me today with the defense was Deonte Banks. You're hoping this guy could be your number one corner. This was your first round pick a year ago, and he's not looking like improved. Anything, he's looking like he unimproved. He cannot besides Terry McLaurin, he's not been able to cover anybody. I mean, Justin Jefferson, he got cooked week 1, which is expected. I get it. But Amari Cooper was just making him look like a rookie corner that was picked in the 5th round. He's got to clean up a lot of things. I'm hoping. I mean, maybe he's just not a number one corner. There's times where some guys just can't guard the other team's best receiver, and they become a really good number 2 corner. So I'm hoping that's the case. Anyways, let's just stay to the positives. As Brian Burns was really good today. He really came to his own of getting some pass rush, being really good in the run. He had a really clutch sack for a fumble against Deshaun Watson at the end of the first half that the Giants were able to capitalize on and score a touchdown with Malik Neighbors. But Kid Thibodeau also showed up today too. He had a good sack. It obviously counts as a half a sack. But another thing I really like to see, though, that Shane Bowen's doing is Jason Pinnock is really getting a lot of action in blitzes this year, where last year that was more McKinney's role, and he would be more as the free safety and coverage. But he's got 3 sacks in the season. He leads the team. Well, he's tied for the lead with Dexter Lawrence, who was just an absolutely phenomenal beast. Has 2 sacks today. I mean, he's our best player by far. I mean, the defense could ask for more. I mean, the first touchdown of the game was because we could not hold onto the football on a kick return. So that gave the Browns really good field position. First play, boom, touchdown. And the second time the Browns scored was really on a deep punt. We were inside our own 10, and the Browns were able to capitalize off the short field position, able to punch it in for 6. Well, actually 8, because they got the 2-point conversion. So things got a little scary at the end, but the Giants defense also got up to 4th and 1 stop. They got the 4th and 5 stop where Cedric Tillman kind of dropped it. One other thing I want to talk about too is Elijah Chapman had a sack today. This is a guy that created a lot of buzz in the preseason. He's an undersized defensive tackle, but he's got all the athletic measurables to be a good player. And he had a sack and 4 pressures today and a fumble recovery. So he might be making his case to keep that starting defensive tackle spot next to Dexter Lawrence. Notice Roches had a couple nice plays today. You know, hasn't been really that good, but I think he had his first sack of the Giants today of half a sack. But yeah, that's about it. I'm going to cover the defense. Yeah, they played just really good. There's nothing really more to talk about. They just played good. The offense started really good in the first half and they got shut out, of course, in the second half. But Daniel Jones, I mean, something about this guy when his back's against the wall, when he knows his job's on the line, that he starts playing better. He did have a really bad decision at, I think it was in the 4th quarter, where he was going to get sacked. So he's like, the Texans game just lobs it up. He's got to learn not to do that. I mean, I don't even know if he's going to learn at this point. He just does it. I don't think he's done it every year of his career. That ball needs to go out of bounds. Always out of bounds. Thump that ball. Nothing's there. Thank God Malik Neighbors played defensive back and got him in high school, because he knocked that pass away. And that was probably his biggest play of the game. That's what Brian Dable said too. That was a complete game changer, because not only, I mean, the Browns scored on that punt after we punted anyways, but that would save them time, and they would have had a quick score. So that was a really big play by Malik Neighbors. But yeah, Daniel Jones was 24-34, 236, and 2 touchdowns. That's a good game. I want to ask for anything more, and I hope he keeps playing like this, because if he keep playing like an average or above average quarterback, there's no reason why we can't win some games this year. I'm not gonna say playoffs because that's a lot to ask for at this point, but we could be a decent enough team to win some games. Rushing wise, Devin Singletary didn't really do much until the last carry. The only problem Devin Singletary's really been having so far the Giants, which has been a problem his whole career, and since he was drafted, he has the fourth most fumbles among running backs. He already has 2. Last week he had a really costly one that like legit killed the momentum. This week almost did it again, which pretty much did kill our momentum because we were driving on that drive and he fumbled the ball again. There's something just he needs to work on. I don't know if he could fix it because it's been a career issue, but there's no reason why he can't. And it was good to see, though, him have that really good run at the end and seal it and be smart and not be selfish, score a touchdown and end the game. That was really cool of him to see. He really did try to work Tyron Tracy a lot in the game with the passing game. You saw him motioning out as a receiver as he was a receiver in college in Purdue. He got a lot of snaps that, like, the Giants really ran a lot of a spread offense. You're really seeing what the Giants' offense could be with the good old line and able to pass protect because last year we would have to block a tight end and a running back, and that's limiting your options. But now, because your line is somewhat decent, you're able to run these spread packages and spread out the defense and get these quick little short routes and passes. So that opens up a lot of things in the passing game. But it was really cool to see how Tyron Tracy played today. He had like 2 nice little runs and a couple catches. So it was cool for him to say that. But now we get to the man of the hour, Malik Chambers. I mean, this guy is an absolute star. I mean, he might already be a top 10 wide receiver, which I don't think is crazy to say at all. He's already got he's got 23 catches, 271 yards, and 3 touchdowns in his first 3 games. He's the youngest wide receiver in NFL history to have 20 catches, 250 plus yards, and 3 touchdowns. Now, it might seem like one of those stats, but nobody else has done it, and it's not like it's like 3 yards and a touchdown. Like that's like his catches he was making today were absolutely unreal. Something we haven't seen since Odell Beckham Jr. Like the one where he caught it over, I think it was Martin Emerson Jr., where that should have been an interception. Once again, it should have been an interception, but Malik Neighbors just takes that ball out of his hand. It's not like he like out-muscled him for it. Like his hands were on the ball at the same time and then just took it away. And that wasn't even his best catch. His best catch was the touchdown. The Giants get it on the field. This was after the Brian Burns strip sack fumble, and the Giants recovered it. He on the touchdown where he just was able to. Oh no, this was the strip sack. This is the first touchdown. He was able to catch it another way, turn his body around, and get his feet in bounds. There's probably only about 3 guys that could do that in the NFL. It's probably Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and Malik Neighbors. Know what those guys got in common? They all went to LSU. I mean, that catch is probably top 5 of the year in the NFL terms in the first 3 weeks. I mean, he's an absolute star. I mean, I love Saquon Barkley, but I'd rather have an elite receiver than an elite running back because you're getting plays in bigger spurts and it's easier to spread the field. Saquon, it's easy to just stack the box, and it would have been nice to have both of them. You know, Saquon had a really good game today. It would have been nice to have both of them, but unfortunately, it did not go that way. But I'm happy to have Malik Neighbors on team. I think he's going to be a really good player, and he already is a really good player. Darius Slayton didn't really get much action today. He was a little shaken up, but he had that one catch for 7 yards. He had that drop, which many people might not thought was like an important thing. That drop would have cooked the 2-minute warning a while ago, and it would have given us more punting yards, but the Browns ended up scoring on that drive. They go with the 2-point conversion. He needs to not drop that. It was right in his hands. But he wasn't really getting open that much, or that fact that they were just going to Malik Neighbors. Wanda Robinson had a really good game today. You give this guy a 2-yard route, he's going to get like at least another 5 yards or another 10. His run out the catch ability is just really special. And the Giants are really building something here, this receiving core. Jalen Hyatt, like the problem with Jalen Hyatt, it's like he's not really getting snaps. So at this point, I'd rather see him play over Slayton because Slayton is on an expiring contract, which I think he's going to get traded. He should get traded. You know, like Slayton's a quality player, but he should get traded to a contender, and we should get some draft picks in this upcoming draft and see what Jalen Hyatt's about, because you need to see if Jalen Hyatt can be good enough to be the number 2 next to Malik Neighbors instead of maybe wasting some more cap space on a number 2 or drafting one. So you want to see what you got in Jalen Hyatt and give him some true snaps with Malik Neighbors. That guy is going to get a lot of attention, draw all the number 1 corners. Because last year Jalen Hyatt was like playing number 1 receiver. So I want to see some more Jalen Hyatt. He gets like a weekly like 3 snaps. The first play of the game for Giants offense went Jalen Hyatt's away. Pass wasn't very good. He's got Daniel Jones. That's the only thing that's showing rust for him is his deep ball ability. I mean, it's just not there right now. But eventually, over time, the rhythm will be there. The time will go down. So he's going to hopefully start hitting those throws because there was another slot fade to Malik Neighbors that should have been a touchdown if he just put more air under it. But, I mean, no complaints really for the offense besides the second half. The first half was phenomenal, A-plus football. Second half, the Browns are really good defense. And they're not a bad team, the Browns. They're not like this isn't like beating the Commanders, which we lost to. This is a good defense and a good offense. You know they're banged up in the line, but was thought to be the best defense in the league with the defensive player of the year on the other side, who didn't have a sack today. You know, he got a lot of pressures, but he did not have a sack. And so they got 2 sacks. So it was all around good football. So that's the second half of the Giants offense with the Giants. They did not let up, and I like to see that after having a really heartbreaking loss last week. The way you lose, and the team just came out and fought. Last but not least, it's the special teams. I think this is something that is just going to haunt us the rest of the Giants' legacy, or whatever how long this franchise is left for. I mean, it just seems to me that we can never get it right. I mean, Greg Gano is always hurt, which he's really good, and Greg Joseph shows you why you need him because he can't hit a 48-yard field goal. I understand he hasn't probably kicked the ball in an NFL game in a while, but it's a 48-yard field goal. I mean, that's what your job. If you can't hit a 48-yard field goal, you should be on our NFL roster. And the opening play of the game, the kick return for a touchdown, not for a touchdown, the kick return for a fumble. That can't happen. You can't. And it was just a stupid thing to do anyways because would have got the ball at the 30 instead of risking a fumble where you would have been short of the 30 anyways. So I don't know why Eric Gray is doing returns. I'd rather than Singletary there because he actually could do returns, even though he fumbles too. But I'd rather anybody else but Eric Gray back there. Hopefully Gunnar Olszewski comes back. He does that. But yeah, anyways, this was a really good win for the Giants. And I hope they could build off of this Thursday against the Cowboys, who are also 1-2. So even though the Cowboys came back, they were getting blown out. So, and their own line did not look good. The Giants' defensive line had 8 sacks today. So we're hoping we could beat down on the rookie Tyler Guyton in this Cowboys game Thursday on a short week. Hopefully the Giants can pull a win again this week. But yeah, this is a good win for the Giants, and that's pretty much about it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, leave a like, subscribe, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.